Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Jerome Legacy. I'm back and I'm joined with
Rosa Star.
And tonight we're going to be going over Angie Stone's car accident, tragic, and her passing. And some of her last words are leading people to conspiracies and things of that. We're just going to go straight to the news so you can get the coverage there first, and then we're going to get into it.
We're glad you're joining us for WSFA 12 News at 10. I'm Monet Stevens. New details emerged following the fatal crash that has claimed the life of Grammy-nominated R&B artist Angie Stone. According to the Alabama law enforcement agency, the Mercedes Sprinter van Stone was riding in had turned over on the roadway before being struck by an 18-wheeler. The crash happened 2 miles south of Hope Hull near mile marker 164. Now, this is just 5 miles.
So she was in Alabama, so we need to first figure out why in the world she was there.
The Montgomery city limits in Montgomery County. Stone had just performed in the city of Mobile on Friday night at...
So she was leaving Mobile, Alabama, and she got struck, and her, as you can see, her Sprinter van got turned over.
What happened was...
Go ahead.
They said, because I thought she just got struck, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The actual van itself turned over first, then it got struck. So it's like,
hold up, so was there some type of fight or commotion that took place in the van
that
caused them to lose control? Because she did just say that the Sprinter van flipped over several times before being struck. So how does a van flip over on its own without some type of a commotion going on the inside, leading you to lose control?
Road highway.
Right. So let's get into it.
2025 Grand Marshals Ball. That's according to Mobile Area Mardi Gras Association. Now, her publicist, Deborah Champagne, told WSFA.
So she was headed to Mardi Gras.
That's what I heard.
Which I just came back from, which was lovely, by the way.
The singer was scheduled to meet in Maryland today for a performance at the CIAA basketball tournament. Stone's publicist remembers her as an honest, talented person that left a big impact on the music industry.
Her songwriting skills were second to none, literally. She wrote a lot of songs for the Sugar Hill Gang label that she never got credit for.
And that's where you want to stop, because I've been hearing a lot of her not getting credit, not getting publishing, not getting royalties, and that's where the conspiracies can go to. This could be a bit deeper, because then she does have a video that she went live on Instagram prior to this talking about how they were stripping her music and not paying her. She used the word stolen. But let's go ahead.
I don't like it at all.
But she was just an incredible talent. I mean, when I say very smart, she was just a very, very smart woman.
There were 9 total passengers in the van, and Stone has been the only reported fatality.
Okay.
And only one with this van.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
It's
7,
giving Left
8,
Eye /
9.
Aaliyah.
Only one person out of 9 people died in the crash. That's the second piece that just doesn't make sense. First, the Sprinter van flips on its own, right? Before being struck, because it had to be struck because it was in the highway, so it was going to eventually get struck if it starts flipping. But prior to that, it starts... How does a Sprinter van flip on its own? The weight of the van itself.
The weight of the van, maybe?
You had to be going at high speeds, like trying to... It was some type of play going on in that car that was very violent. Speed-wise and losing control-wise.
Speed, losing control, something was going on.
Do you think it could have been AI controlled?
I think something could have happened, because now what they're leaving out, even on like most of the news reports, is that this didn't happen during broad daylight, which they keep showing.
They keep showing the footage in the daylight.
4 in the morning or something like that.
So you're saying it was dark out?
Think about the highway at 4 in the morning. It's
empty.
pretty much empty.
Right.
So anybody could have came up and did anything. The only other person that is out there is people who maybe work a graveyard shift or truck drivers.
So you saying like They could have set something up like somebody being in the middle of the road and they had to brake and then like the car flipped. Right.
Anything.
A lot. I mean, I don't watch enough scary movies that a lot could be at play.
You know, we love our little thrillers.
Ooh, we love a scary movie. It's for sure, Tam.
Even like the thrillers, like when you think about action movies when they like shoot at the car and the tire pops.
And then it starts flipping.
Like,
so it could have been that. It could have been somebody in the car in the middle of the road with a stroller. Anything just to scare somebody. A deer, an animal, anything. But for 9 people, from 8 out of 9 people to survive and only 1 person died, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. How did the whole team survive besides you? And you supposed to be the prize in the car. If anything, everybody's supposed to be protecting you. Like, hold on, you know. No, you're the 1 person that dies out of the whole crash. And then the timing is different. They're saying it happened at early in the morning while it's still dark, but they're showing footage of only the daytime.
If you look at the footage, I mean, it's literally like everything
Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed released a statement saying, in part, Montgomery joins the music world in mourning the loss of Angie Stone, a trailblazer whose voice and artistry shaped generations.
Shout out to News 12.
Which is even more confusing, though, because it's like, why are sirens in the background like the scene just happened? And you gotta watch the news because they can definitely be in on the reports.
They sure can. I mean? And then this was a comment of what she was saying of possibly what happened to her prior to her, getting in this accident. Something about her music being stolen. So let's get into that.
Her mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen. I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there are several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs, all the songs that I've done. I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence.
Wow. So they was playing her. And they contract played her. And years later, she's finding out, it comes to light, and then she's hit by a car. She's in a car accident, a tragic car accident the next day. That's crazy.
I mean, even then, and maybe I'm wrong. They claim she ejected through the window. That's what they claim. I don't know how true that is, but I would just think even for a van to turn over, it's a van. It's not like a car.
Right. It wasn't a small vehicle.
I could see people being injured, of course, but like come on.
If 8 survived and 1 didn't, it just don't add up. Do the math. In a Sprinter that's a lot bigger, that can handle a lot more. And this is prior to her getting this. They didn't get hit initially. They just went out of control and flipped. That's it. They didn't get hit by the impacts of something knock them out.
Eject?
How do you eject when you just roll? What's at play, y'all? We got to read between the lines.
So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, money that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything. What I learned how to do was go out, work hard, get paid, come home, pay my bills, take care of my family.
Okay, so.
But, yeah. So she gets into it there a little bit, and then this is just more footage. Let's jump in and see what this is about. This is, I guess, just someone driving by the scene. A onlooker passenger that was taking their own footage.
Yep.
Whoa, that thing is from all the way on that side. You see the street?
They were on that side. Clearly,
and only she died. That makes...
It is with heavy hearts that the children of the R&B singer Angie Stone, along with her extended family, want to thank you all for your love and wishes during what is an extremely difficult time. Angie was an example for Black women and girls everywhere. Angie also loved and championed for Black men.
Money they owe me. Okay.
So it seems like she was about to be going through class action lawsuits and hitting some heavy pockets in the industry, and it seemed like it could be a bit of a conspiracy there. What do you think, Tam?
I definitely see that. I think also too, she just didn't go for the agenda. How many times did she mention God? And
she was such a God-fearing woman.
And,
like, you can tell that with the first 5 seconds of speaking to her.
Because a lot of these artists, we don't really know because we're not in those rooms, but just off of what we see on YouTube and on the internet and what we hear, because there's so much access to it now, and even some people who have admitted who were in the industry and are no longer in the industry, it can be a bit satanic. So, you either are gonna be walking around with devil horns and baby blood or whatever, pig blood and all this other stuff, or you just do not need to be preachy. You don't need to be giving praise to the Most High. You don't need to constantly say your little speech, shout out God one time. You got one time. That's it. I don't want to hear that every 5 seconds.
So you saying that they could have came after her because of her spirituality too?
I think part of that plays because.
So you feel like people in the streets have played down their spirituality? You're talking about like a Dr. Sabi. Just because you can save the world and you know the answers on how to cure all these diseases, you shouldn't probably be just going and telling everybody.
Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think you can still say that you love the Lord. I mean, she was
You got one time to say it. She said it about a good 10 times in this live alone.
Wow, Tam. Really?
All I'm saying is...
What are you saying?
In this industry...
She loved the Lord that much that she wanted to make sure it was stated.
The Lord, and
every second breath.
That is not on brand for certain people in that industry.
Right.
It's just not on brand.
She was R&B though. She was a soul singer.
What I mean by that, it's not about the genre.
Right.
It's about the narrative in general. They don't want... Come on now. We Black folks too. It's certain things that if it's too empowering, if it's too spiritual, if it's too much of walking in the right path or going in the right path or uplifting us as a community, it has to be silenced. It has to be shut down. So sing your little songs and that's it.
So this could have been...
Write your songs and that's it. I'm just saying that's a small part of it. I'm not saying that's the whole thing, but that's definitely a part of it too.
Okay, so this could have been enough is enough type of thing?
Because even like...
I don't think she spoke out much, though. Like she was saying, she was just getting back on her lives. She wasn't really that active until this lawsuit came about or them stealing from her and she found out all this money was being misappropriated.
And honestly, we don't know how much she may or may not have been speaking out. We just didn't pay her any mind until it's too late. And that's how it is a lot of times. How many times do people say, hey, this is happening to me? Hey,
because she does mention in this video how she hasn't been on live a lot. Let's just get into this.
On set, filming, I can't give up the ghost, but I am actually on set doing something for a friend of mine. And I'm not supposed to be filming a scene or anything, but I am in a church filming, so you can kind of see around.
Always church. She was touching on that church.
Didn't I tell you? She touching on church more than some of these gospel singers out here.
She's in a movie touching on church.
Let me tell you something. No shade to Leandria Johnson, but my good sis makes the most beautiful music, and she is fighting some demons, okay? Sis be singing gospel on Sunday. She be drunk at brunch before Sunday is over, okay?
I'm done.
Getting DUIs and stuff. Hope you get the help you need, sis. Beautiful, talented woman. But it just goes to show, that's why I said the genre don't matter, because she's talked about church. She's in church right now. She's showing that no matter what genre of music I'm singing, no matter what I'm doing, I'm always putting God first. She's doing that more than some of these gospel artists, more than some of these other artists who claim that they so spiritual and woke and they blessed and blah, blah, blah. Right. But it's like, do you really know him? Clearly she is.
Okay. Just going through her Instagram
and just even
page.
watching like her videos, you could tell that every video that she was making, she was trying so hard to like be mindful of what she said. You could tell it was
you can.
Like
I can definitely get the strain from that for sure.
Certain stuff she just wanted to say, but it's like, well, I don't want to say it like that, and then it turned into something else. Or you know, I already know I got eyes watching me. I already know it's people looking for me. It's people checking for me. Not in necessarily the best.
Hey, what's up, family? It's your girl Angie Stone. I did an impromptu.
So I'm just gonna read this. I've just discovered something that's been hidden in the dark for too long. My publishing was stolen. And guess what? I know exactly who did it. Okay, this was on December 26th, 2024. So this happened. She was battling this coming out the end of the year, straight into the new year. And then I guess it might have been getting close to a resolution in the courts and someone was going to get paid out. So this could have been like, you know, if you silence her, if she's dead, then the lawsuit's dead. It could be given that. But don't get it twisted. I'm coming for you. All the dogs who thought they could take what's mine, trust I'm ready, just like Jamie Foxx said. What had happened was, well, now it's my turn to share my testimony. It's a new chapter, and you can bet the truth is coming to the light. Stay tuned. Hashtag testimony. Hashtag real recognize real. Hashtag publish or perish. Hashtag coming for it. Hashtag Angie Stone. Hashtag what had happened was.
One of the comments say, what did they stick her with the needle for? I felt like that. I'm like, shoot, the way she passed away, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody literally just
injected
stuck
her
stuck her with something in the process of all the commotion going on. How easy is it just like, oh, poof.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. And it's crazy to even have to think like that, but it's like, with the world that we live in and what money will make people do, money, power, and fame will make people do some very strange things.
And someone else said that is crazy, like basically going with that. My sis, I'm here for you. I've lost we need you to talk. It's so good to manage to speak your truth. Rest in power, Queen Angie. Get your money, you deserve it. Have blessed us for your hearts for years. Yeah, I mean, overall, it sounds like there could be something that was brewing there, and they snuffed it out before it got too serious. Unfortunately, we lost her in the mix of that, and so that's always unfortunate. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. I mean, overall, how would you have went about it if someone stole your publishing? I mean, we have a right to tell our truth, right?
We have a right to tell our truth, but do we have a right to tell our truth? Really? You got a right to tell your truth, but you don't got a right to live through your truth being, what's the word I'm looking for? Actually televised. Because nobody, I mean, 6 months ago, was you thinking about, dang, you know what? Angie Stone ain't getting her credit. Well, nobody thinking about that.
No.
Nobody. She didn't even really realize until she had that epiphany. Like,
well, she said somebody called her. She got news.
And then it's like you start to realize, like, hold on, I'm Angie Stone. I am the Angie Stone. I should have been able to retire 20 years ago. And if I do music or do tours, it's because I want to, not because I'm hurting and I really need to.
Right.
So, like, how many people that she wrote for, like, even then, that was new information for me that she groomed Mary J. Blige.
Right.
And then even then, like,
where was that one at?
It's like no acknowledgement of it or anything. And you know, just so many different rooms. Like, it's no telling what she may have seen and just never spoke on. And sometimes when people feel like you just know too much, you're a liability. And these companies just feel like sometimes after a while you're worth more dead than alive. Because alive, you know your rights now. If you didn't know before, you're going to move strategically now so that they don't eat off of you and just rob you and rape you for all of your gifts, talents, and skills.
Like Michael Jackson, like Whitney Houston, like so many others before her. Because Michael owned his own catalog and the Beatles catalog. It was a whole big thing. Catalogs and owning publishing is more than just that's bigger than the actual artists themselves. That's the physical musical library that Spotify downloads. Who owns that? Owns the recipient of those coins. And so if you can prove you were supposed to have that, people could end up forking over their whole livelihood. Because there's a lot of money being made off of artist catalogs. That's why the real money is behind the scenes.
And I really think, like, new artists, again, fame has a big price that it could pay, and sometimes it's better to just be behind the scenes. Not saying that you can't shine, but it's like it's a lot safer in most cases. You don't got to worry about all of the drama and all of that stuff. And you already know 9 out of 10 if you behind the scenes or if you're just an independent artist, you have way more say so and what you're worth, what you want to get paid, what you'll put up with and what you won't put up with, versus just being excited and signing contracts and signing deals that you don't understand.
But making a name for yourself also is then you can set your own price too. Like, you know, you got to do certain things to get where you got to go. I think everything overall is just you need to play it safe. You need to be strategic. You need to be smart in every decision that you make. And you always need to, you know, think about your safety first before you do anything, because you're the only one who's going to protect you like that. So at the end of the day, leave your comments below. What do you think? Do you think it was a conspiracy to get rid of Angie for the publishing deals? Do you think this was natural? Do you think it was just a random car accident? What do you think about her car flipping over multiple times before it even got struck? Do you think she even died in the car? Was she placed there? I mean, let us know what you guys honestly think below in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to follow us on all platforms. I am Jerome Legacy. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.